Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
They cut that out of their showing of Home Alone 2 in Canada.
That is a scene from Home Alone 2 that was taken out from the Canadian Broadcasting Company's version of the movie. Now, the reason they did that was actually not political. It was a decision that the broadcasting company made back in 2014. When you air a movie on television, you have to break it up and shorten it in order to make way for commercials, and that's exactly what they did. And so let's give you their tweet where CBC responds to criticism that short scene featuring Donald Trump was deleted from the movie Home Alone 2, which aired recently. Spokesperson says several cuts were made for time. These edits were done in 2014 when we first acquired the film and before Trump was elected president. Now, that's not good enough for conservatives, right? And so Fox and Friends, was very upset about this. They felt that it was censorship. So let's hear what they have to say.
They claim it's because they needed to leave room for commercials. That's the one part. That's right. 6 or 7 seconds they cut.
Right, but that was a great 6-second commercial they had for whatever it was.
But how bad is your Trump derangement syndrome for you to cut that out of a happy movie?
Well, I think they're actually terrified that people will remember that before he was the new Hitler, he was actually a beloved mainstream cultural figure. He's in if you're going to start cutting him out, he's on the Regis Philbin Christmas album in the middle of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Regis, it's a terrific album, by the way. If you still want to play Christmas music on Boxing Day, Regis is the way to go. And then one foggy Christmas Eve, the Trumpster came to say, Blitzen, you're fired, Rudolph, you're hired. That's who Donald Trump was before he was the new Hitler. And I think they're terrified of these little things that will remind people of just how deranged his opponents.
It's also censorship.
So as you heard Katie Pavlich say, this is censorship when, again, in reality, this has nothing to do with censorship. This was a decision made in 2014. In 2014, Trump didn't run for president until a year later.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about derangement syndrome. So let's talk about a couple of things they mentioned there because there's so much fun.
Before you do I'm sorry, Cenk, we just got like a live update on this story I have to share with you. Trump just tweeted about this.
Of course he did.
And he feels that it's retaliation by Justin Trudeau.
Moron of morons. The CBC is not allowed to lie about it. They said as soon as we got the movie, it's a government organization, as soon as we got the movie in 2014, we edited it, and not just that 6 seconds, they edited a lot of different scenes to make it fit with TV commercials. You remember back in the day when you were on planes and they had not the individual screens, but the screens that everybody could watch? They would edit the movies, not only I don't know if they made them shorter, but they would take out every potentially offensive word and curse. And that's why I would never watch the movies on the plane, because they were hatchet jobs to make it safe, right? But these guys, everything's, this is a witch hunt. The CBC, the Canadians are doing a hoax. Okay, so I've got more on what they said in a second, but you got the tweet or something?
Yes, I have the tweets. He put out 2 tweets. The first one was one of those quote tweets, and he said, "The movie will never be the same," and then in parentheses, "just kidding." So he's poking fun, that's okay.
Just kidding's fine.
But here's the one where he thinks there's retaliation. "I guess Justin T doesn't much like my making him pay up on NATO or trade."
Could you imagine? You know why?
I love the idea that a world leader, okay, is so like bored and has nothing to do. So he like micromanages the Canadian Broadcasting Company.
No, as you were saying that, I realized why Trump thinks that. Because that's exactly what he would do.
Yeah, you're right.
That's exactly how petty he would be.
Yeah.
How obsessed with TV he would be, and how he'd be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take Trudeau out of Home Alone 3 and see how he likes it." Okay, because that's who this clown of clowns is. Now let's turn to the clowns on Fox News. If you notice in the thing that Mark Stein was talking about, like, oh, there's a brilliant Christmas special and Regis Philbin Trump is in. And then he said the lyrics. And in the lyrics, Trump fires Blitzen.
I know, and he's like proud of that.
Yeah, like they celebrate, like, remember when Trump was a hero and fired one of the reindeer?
Yep.
Okay, that's their idea of a hero. And he crushed the reindeer, make them work for less, yes. Anyway, but to me, the most egregious was Ed Henry. Ed Henry is supposed to be one of their straight news broadcasters. And remember, he used to be on another network that also does objective news. That's who Ed Henry is. He called it, and he knew, if you noticed, he said in the thing that the Canadian Broadcasting Company actually edited it for the commercials. He knew their statement, he knew why they did it, but then he called it Trump derangement syndrome.
It's so stupid. This whole thing is stupid. By the way, you know what else is stupid? Trump would force film studios to put him in their movies if they wanted to shoot from Trump Tower. So we learned about this through an interview that Matt Damon did back in 2017. Let me give you his quotes. The deal was that if you wanted to shoot in one of Trump's buildings, you had to write him in a part. Martin Brest had to write something in Scent of a Woman, and the whole crew was in on it. You have to waste an hour of your day with a shot. Donald Trump walks in and Al Pacino's like, "Hello, Mr. Trump," and you had to call him by name and then he exits. You waste a little time so that you can get the permit and then you can cut the scene out. But I guess in Home Alone 2, they left it in. Which, by the way, I don't know why they did, because over the break, the holiday break, I rewatched Home Alone 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
I love those movies. I don't care what anyone thinks of that. I enjoy them. And as I'm like enjoying Home Alone 2, that scene comes up and it's like, You know, like it's just a short moment of like displeasure.
Why didn't Obama have all of those scenes edited out while he was president?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you want to talk about derangement. By the way, Matt Damon, backed up by Chris O'Donnell in a totally different interview at a totally different time. Chris O'Donnell said he's independently said, it was explained to us that in order for us to film at the plaza, we had a little walk-in part for Donald and his ex-wife, Marla Maples. And so, and goes to who Trump is. Like, oh, you have to put me in the movie.
So lame.
You have to call me Mr. Trump, okay?
He's a marketer. That's what he's really good at. And he markets himself. He's an egomaniac.